going to call this meeting of the Beaumont Planning Commission to order at 6 p.m. And we're going to go into the swearing in of the commissioners, both Nate and I and our new commissioner.
So gentlemen, if you'll join me to the front right here, I will swear all three of you in.
Been there, done that.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're going to read this. I'll read it. And you guys
Yeah, I saw this.
just to help follow along. All right, so if you
Yeah, I saw that
raise
last
your right
month. Did you?
hand, and I, and state your name,
I, Paul St. Martin,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
and I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
All right, congratulations. I can have you take this, you're going to sign and re-inside. And if you're ready, I'll do roll call.
In a moment.
Okay.
You sent the inside document as well?
Yes, please.
I forget how to use this one. Huh? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Did you just go to the website for the agenda?
I'll collect them at the end.
Nice, okay.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Stevens.
Present, here.
Commissioner Barr.
Here.
Commissioner Tinker.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Here.
Vice Chairman St. Martin.
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any adjustments to the agenda? Any conflicts of interest?
Yes, I have a conflict with item number 4. I'm going to recuse myself. The applicant is a client.
Okay. Public comments. Any one person may address the Planning Commission on any matter not on this agenda. If you wish to speak, please fill out a public comment form provided at the back table and give it to the city clerk. There is a time limit of 3 minutes on public comments. There will be no sharing or passing of time to another person. State law prohibits the commission from discussing or taking actions brought up by your comments. Are there any?
No request to speak for discussion.
Thank you. With that, I have the approval of the minutes of December 11th. Do I have the motion?
So moved.
Oh, we're going to do the reorganization.
Well, we have the motion on the floor, so we can
Okay.
take it back.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Tinker, second by Commissioner Barr.
Commissioner Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Commissioner Tinker,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chairman St. Martin.
Yes. Okay, now I'll give up my seat.
Well, you gotta conduct it first.
No, you told me you were going to take it. Okay,
Oh, I said I'd like to.
all right.
I would be happy to make a motion for Commissioner Tinker to serve as chair for 2 years.
Second that.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Commissioner Tinker,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner St. Martin.
Yes.
And for vice chair?
Yeah, you might as well finish it up, huh? There we go.
Okay. Well, you're the chairman now.
Yeah, I'll get there. I make
Okay, do
a,
I have nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Mr. St. Martin.
I second.
You hear that? All right.
All right, let me write this down.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Stevens,
Yes.
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Commissioner Tinker,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner St. Martin.
Yes.
All right, if you guys
With
want to
that,
switch.
I turn over the gavel.
Your stuff.
Just.
Thanks, sir.
You didn't drink out of this water, did you?
No, sir. I have this one over here. All right, you gotta keep me out of trouble. You gotta keep me out of trouble.
Oh, will do.
Approval of the minutes, we've already. Okay, so we approved for the minutes, right? We're on to item 3.
Yes.
Yes, we're on item 3.
Okay. Under item 3, now, do I open this up, or does Christina talk first?
You can state the title if you'd like to, and then Christina can follow up with the staff report.
Okay, under item 3, we'll conduct a public hearing and consider plot plan PP 2018-0166 to allow a 4,550 square foot metal storage building on 11,152 square foot lot located at 204 B Street in the manufacturing zone. And I'll turn it now over to the planning.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. The city is in receipt of an application requesting consideration for placement of a 4,550 square foot metal building at 204 B Street to be used for storage of equipment and materials for the applicant's business. The subject site is bound on the north by vacant property, the east by commercial industrial use, and the south by Ringdale Park. The property adjacent to the west is an existing residential use. The zoning on the site and the surrounding properties is manufacturing. The site currently has 2 storage containers on it, which will be removed. The property has some existing improvements, including curb, paved driveway and a block wall around the perimeter of the site with a wrought iron gate at the front for access. These improvements will remain. The applicant is proposing site improvements including landscaping the frontage along B Street and paving and striping to meet the parking requirement as shown on the site plan. The parking requirement for warehouses is 1 space per 1,000 square feet of floor area. Based on the size of the proposed building, the applicant is required to provide 5 on-site parking spaces and 7 are provided. There are no required setbacks for this project as the property is surrounded on all 4 sides by the manufacturing zone. The applicant is proposing no setback at the rear of the property, 5 foot 9 inches on the side adjacent residential, 4 foot on the side adjacent the existing commercial industrial building, and approximately 65 feet in the front. The proposed project is consistent with the zoning and meets all of the required development standards. This application is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act under Section 15332 infill development and does not require an initial study. The findings included in the staff report are necessary for the approval of the plot plan, and all the findings can be made in a positive manner. Staff recommends the commission hold a public hearing and approve plot plan PP 2018-0166 for the construction of a 4,550 square foot metal building on an 11,152 square foot lot located at 204 B Street in the manufacturing zone. Staff is available if you have any questions, and the applicant is also present in the audience.
Commissioner St. Martin, you have questions?
No questions.
Mr. Barr?
No questions.
No questions.
Should I open the public hearing?
Yes, please.
Okay, at this time at 6:12 p.m., we're going to open the public hearing regarding PP 2018-0166. Is the applicant here?
Yes, Mr. Mulvihill is in the back.
I don't have any requests to speak, but if you have questions of
Do
that.
we have any questions for the applicant?
No.
Just a couple general. I just have a couple general questions.
Mr. Mulvihill, will you please come up and state your name and your address, please?
Yes, Walter J. Mulvihill, address down there would be 204 B Street.
Okay. So what's the nature of the business?
We do doors, we're a door contractor,
Okay.
so basically just be warehousing material in between job sites.
Okay. So not a lot of heavy traffic in and out then, just going to deliver
No, no.
trucks.
Right now, we're downtown, a little lower in the Beaumont Electric area. And we don't even have cars parked there in the day because they're out on job sites. So, yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I just had a couple of general questions. So. I have nothing else.
Any other questions, the commissioners?
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Mulvihill.
Thank you.
Okay, at 6:14, I'll close the public hearing. So at this point, I guess I'll entertain a motion. So I'll entertain a motion to approve or disapprove, whatever you want to do.
Move to approve.
Move to approve, thank you. Plot plan 2018-0166. Do I have a
As
motion?
stated.
As stated, thank you.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion to approve and a second.
Commissioner Stevens?
Yes.
Commissioner Barr?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Vice Chair St. Martin?
Yes.
And Chairman Tinker?
Yes. Oh, you're leaving now. Okay. Under item number 4, we're going to conduct a public hearing and consider plot plan PP 2017-0047 and a mitigated negative declaration for a proposed RV and self-storage facility with a caretaker's unit on 8.48 acres located at the southwest corner of California Avenue and West First Street in manufacturing zone. And I'll turn it to the planning director.
Thank you. The project before you tonight is the development of a new RV and self-storage facility with a caretaker's unit located at the southwest corner of California Avenue and First Street in the manufacturing zone. This proposed use is permitted in the manufacturing zone, subject to plot plan approval by the Planning Commission. The subject site is currently vacant. The property is surrounded on the north and east by industrial uses. To the south, there is a legal, non-conforming residential use, and to the west, there are residential uses. The zoning to the north and east and south is manufacturing, and to the west is rural residential. The project involves development of a gated RV and self-storage facility with 4 one-story buildings and 1 two-story building. There's a total of 105,283 square feet of storage within those 5 buildings. The two-story building includes a customer lounge on the bottom floor and the manager's unit on the second floor. There are a total of 209 RV stalls, 160 that are covered and 49 uncovered. The architectural features of the structures are smooth stucco finish, dual accent colors, wrought iron fencing, and Spanish-style roofing. The site takes access from First Street and from California Avenue. Both points of access provide entry and exit from the site. There is a third point of access on West First at the west end of the property that's exit only from the site. The drive aisles are 35 or 36 feet, providing access in and around the site. There are 4 parking spaces provided adjacent to the office, and a separate dedicated garage space is provided for the on-site manager's unit. The project is providing landscaping improvements along California Avenue and First Street. The landscaping will be required to meet the city's landscaping ordinance. The proposal provides a conceptual look at signage for the project. So what you see on the site plan and in the staff report is conceptual. The city will require a separate sign review application in order to approve those signs officially. The anticipated operating hours will be Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be on-site staff 24 hours a day. An initial study and mitigated negative declaration was prepared for this project in accordance with the provision of CEQA. The initial study mitigated negative declaration document was based upon the city standard checklist and addressed a full range of environmental topics. The findings of the environmental process are that all significant issues can be mitigated to a level of insignificance with respect to local and regional standards and thresholds. In order to achieve the level of insignificance, a series of mitigation measures are proposed. To ensure that these measures are properly enacted, a mitigation monitoring program is necessary and will be enforced during the construction and operation of the project, if approved. The draft initial study and mitigated negative declaration was circulated for a 20-day public review period from December 4th, 2018 through January 3rd, 2019. No comments on the initial study or mitigated negative declaration were received during that time. The findings for a plot plan are included in the staff report, and all of these findings can be made in a positive manner. Staff is recommending that the Commission hold a public hearing and approve plot plan PP 2017-0047 and mitigated negative declaration for a proposed RV and self-storage facility with a caretaker's unit, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval. Staff is available if you have any questions, and the applicant and their representative are available in the audience as well.
Do we have any questions from commissioners?
None from me.
Mr. Moore?
Not right now.
I do have a couple, I don't know if it's better for the applicant or when we can ask those. If that's,
You want to open a public
Ask,
hearing?
or you can.
If it's for the applicant, we'll do it during the public hearing.
Okay, I'm going to open public hearing on plot plan PP 2017-0047 in reference to the mitigated negative declaration. Public hearing is now open at 6:20. State your name and address, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, newly elected chairman. My name is Bruce Jordan. My address is 131 Calle Iglesia in San Clemente, California. I'm the architect for the project, and I'm here to answer any questions. I would start by saying that this is a facility that we consider to be kind of state-of-the-art for today. We designed Dr. Kirk Howard's facility across the street, Beaumont Self-Storage, some time ago. It's been professionally managed, and it will be associated with this RV facility. As you may know, with all the CC&Rs in place in the new multifamily and single-family developments that preclude RVs and boats, there is a significant shortage for storage of these. So we've designed this place to be totally enclosed, to screen it from public view. It'll create an acoustical barrier to all the surrounding properties, and there will be no views into the property. So it's all presented in a way to screen out the activities. But this will be a fully gated, automated facility, also monitored by the managers. We have a lounge where people returning from a trip with their RV can do their wash and take care of their RVs and then leave. Closed at night, quiet, very little noise, very low trip generator, and we expect this facility to do very, very well. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I have a question. Are the RVs going to be stored in these units?
The self-storage buildings around the outside, the single story, are designed to accommodate RVs, yes.
Okay.
So there's 3 tiers. There's open parking, there's canopy-covered parking, and then the fully enclosed.
Will you be providing a storage, or not storage, but the dump site for the RVs?
We have a wash rack and dump station that's identified on the site plan.
And how much traffic do you expect?
This is a very, very low trip generating use. For this size of a project, this number of RVs, I would expect 3 or 4 units maximum in any hour. Very low traffic, again, closed at night, no access at night, so it's a very quiet, peaceful neighbor.
That was one of my questions on the hours. Is that set by ordinance, or is that set by the
The hours included in the staff report were provided by the applicant. The city has a noise ordinance that they'd be required to comply with, but there's no regulations on business operating hours. And typically, if they do come in, it would be as a condition from the police department. However, there was no request by PD to limit the hours on this.
Would you consider extending those open hours during a very, very busy holiday travel season, or is it very strict to closing at 6, you said?
Well, what they will do on occasion on those types of days, they will allow the gate to be open via your access code, even though the office hours are closed, the office is closed. However, the managers remain on site so that they're able to police and take care of that and accommodate those.
So you can enter in and out past that 6 o'clock?
On occasion, yes.
On occasion, okay, for those, okay. And the other, this might be a better question for staff on the fire, how many fire extinguishers, is that all stated in?
So the fire department provides conditions of approval, which are included as an attachment. Through the plan review process, when it gets down to the nuts and bolts of things, if you guys approve this, then they'll have to submit to the building department, public works, the fire department, for all of the detailed plans that will show what's on the inside, what materials it's constructed of, and the fire department looks at that, and then will determine, based on size of the building and nature of the use in each building, what requirements will be, what will be required of them in each particular location. So there's some standard and project-specific conditions here, but at this level, the fire department is looking at access. So they've looked at all of the entry and exit points, they've looked at the circulation, they've looked at the design to make sure that it's adequate in case of a public safety issue that comes up out there, they can respond. The later detailed stuff will come if you approve tonight and when they submit for plan check.
That's generally, we get a lot of the particulars from police and fire and the building when the plans are submitted for construction. And that's the only time really they can go through and say, I need a fire extinguisher here, I need access here. So that's when that's submitted.
And I didn't have a chance to drive this site today. How close is this to the Amazon warehouse? Is it not even?
close.
Nowhere
Other
near.
side,
Long ways away.
east.
Okay, because this was on, maybe I read it wrong on that. This is on 4th Street.
No,
Right.
First
No,
Street.
First.
This one's on First, yeah.
First in California.
We have a couple other on
4th
Fourth
Street
tonight on the
is-
agenda.
Thank you. So my question will be,
You know
will be
where
on the next
you know where the
item.
gas company is? First in California is a gas company. On the southeast corner, on the northeast corner is another storage facility.
Okay, yes.
And on
yeah.
the southwest corner is a motorhome rehab facility.
Okay.
Or, excuse me, the northwest corner. So this would be on the southwest corner of Blankly.
And I wrote the address on my notes right here, First Street, but the next item is on Fourth Street, so thank you.
Okay, so I have any other questions?
None.
Okay, any
Chairman,
questions?
I do have a request to speak from the public.
Okay, well, we'll have them.
Thank you.
Okay.
David Castaldo?
Hi, my name's David Castaldo. I live at 49 California Avenue, Beaumont. Congratulations, Commissioner Tinker, on being chairman.
Thank
Been there, done that. Congratulations, Mr. St. Martin. I guess you're going to spend the rest of your life on this commission as vice chairman.
I hope not. but-
In any case, I live in the
It
lot.
depends on David how bad I screw up. He might be back up here tomorrow.
Been there, done that. Got a lot of story about that, but I live in the non-conforming residential manufactured zone right next to this. Dr. Kirk consulted me about 6 months ago about if I had any issues. He allowed me to look over the plans, offer any comments or anything, and I looked over the plans and I'm perfectly happy with it. In fact, I am looking forward to the site being built. I get rid of those ugly bushes or trees that are along California Street, and I get a nice block wall that I can be my own little island there. It saves me a lot of money putting up my own block wall. So I also own AC Propane, which is on the 1st of California. So I'm kind of in the same block as Dr. Kurt's present facility. I've never had a problem. He's been a great neighbor, and if there's ever been a problem or anything, we've always worked it out and got it taken care of. I've looked over many plans before in my life when I was on the commission, and I'm really happy with it, and I think it doesn't provide any problems with traffic. If you're worried about traffic, then you'd shut off the end of California Street over by Highway 79, and our traffic problems would be taken care of for quite some time, but I know you don't have that power. But once again, I don't see any problems with this facility and look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Castaldo. Any
Oh,
other?
by the way, Dr. Kirk did offer me a great deal on lifetime storage for my
Do we
No
have-
other speakers.
Okay, then I can close the public. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing at this time at 6:30. And if we know, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve as stated.
Do I have a second on the approval?
A second.
The motion. I have a motion and a second to approve plot plan 2017-0047 and the mitigated negative declaration for the proposed RV storage and self-storage facility.
Commissioner Stevens?
Yes.
Commissioner Barr?
Yes.
Vice Chair St. Martin?
Yes.
And Chairman Tinker?
Yes. Do we bring the young man back, or is he on his own out there? Nathan, you can come home now. You can come home now, Nathan. Your project was approved. Okay, item number 5, we're going to consider plot plan PP 2019-0174 for the proposed construction of approximately a 10,000 square foot warehouse building with an existing business and a 5,400 square foot multi-tenant commercial building on 1.35 acres located at 185 West 4th Street in the manufacturing zone. All yours.
Thank you, Chairman. The application before you this evening is for consideration of construction of a 10,000 square foot storage building for the existing business and a 5,400 square foot multi-tenant commercial building located at 185 West 4th Street in the manufacturing zone. This project is permitted in the manufacturing zone, subject to approval of a plot plan by the Planning Commission. The subject site covers 3 parcels and is currently occupied by Franklin Mechanical. There's an existing building with outdoor storage of materials and equipment. The property is surrounded on the northeast and west sides by commercial uses, and to the south there is a non-conforming residential use. The zoning on the property and all of the surrounding properties is manufacturing. The project was presented at the city's Development Review Committee in June of 2018, where the departments reviewed and discussed and provided conditions for the project. The project is shown on the site plan is split into 2 phases. Phase 1 is the addition of the warehouse and storage building with related improvements. Phase 2 involves the construction of the multi-tenant commercial building and the improvements related with that part. A lot line adjustment will be required as part of Phase 1 to ensure that buildings will not be constructed across the lot lines. The site, as conditioned, will be paved, landscaped, and include wrought iron fencing and low block walls. The project has 3 street frontages: California Avenue, 4th Street, and Walnut Street. 2 points of access are provided to the site. The current business in Phase 1 are accessed from 4th Street, and Phase 2 will be served by access from Walnut. Street dedications and improvements will be required along all street frontages that are currently unimproved. 18 parking spaces are required for Phase 1, and 18 are provided. Phase 2 requires 11 parking spaces, and 11 spaces will be provided. Landscaping is proposed around the perimeter of the property and in the parking area, and as required, all landscaping will meet the city's landscape ordinance. This project is consistent with the city's general plan and zoning, and it will be an improvement to the site and the area. The proposed application is exempt from CEQA under 15-332 infill development. The findings necessary for approval of the plot plan are included in the staff report, and all of these findings can be made in a positive manner. Staff recommends the commission hold a public hearing and approve plot plan PP 2019-0174 for the proposed construction of a 10,000 square foot warehouse building for an existing business and a 5,400 square foot multi-tenant commercial building on 1.35 acres located at 185 West 4th Street in the manufacturing zone, subject to the findings and the attached conditions of approval. Staff is available if you have any questions, and the applicant is also present in the audience.
Chairman St. Martin?
Is this where the pallets are being stored right now?
No, sir.
No?
No, this is Franklin Mechanicals, so there's a variety of things out there, none of which are pallets.
It's across from where Persal's building is in
Yeah.
CD. It's on the opposite corner over there.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Barr?
Nothing.
A resident engineer?
So there's no plans at this point to widen California Avenue? It's not part of the road network?
Right, so we'll require the dedication, and he's shown that on the site plan preliminarily. But at this point in time, I don't know that the city has any plans to widen California. I'm looking at our public works guys back there to see. Do we have anything recently or near on the horizon for widening California?
I just want to make sure that the plan's consistent with the
Yeah.
circulation element.
The dedication is there for the right-of-way,
Okay.
so.
And the same on 4th Street?
So 4th Street is already curb and gutter out there.
Right.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, long ago, there was some dedication of land on 4th Street back to the property owner. So that portion of 4th Street there will not likely be widened much more than what it is right now.
Okay.
I believe it's improved on both sides.
Saw that the block wall, wrought iron fencing, landscaping along there, that's all good. I understand, kind of where we're at with this now, but I would like to kind of see us, as we move forward, to look at more permanent structures and metal buildings go up.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna hold that to anything on this
Sure.
approval, but, as the city matures, I'd like to make sure that we're moving that direction, and that's the preference. And so when people come in, we're not setting precedents that we're going to be approving these for about
Agreed.
that size, so.
As we move throughout the year, you'll have some things come before you related to the zoning code, and I believe a discussion will take place probably with Planning Commission and Council as far as design guidelines go.
Good.
As it stands right now, the code does not have much in it that speaks to
No.
us disallowing this type of
doesn't.
structure.
It doesn't.
So we try
And that's why, that's why I'm just saying as a preference as we move forward, it's something I'd
Absolutely.
like to encourage, make sure that we see.
Yeah, it's note taken, and I believe at some point this year, we'll probably be having a discussion along those lines.
Excellent. Thank you.
Commissioner Stevens?
Yeah, the images supplied here, those are just sample images. There's no, the renderings here.
So the renderings that are provided are, generally speaking, very close to what will be built because we do approve based on site plan, floor plan, elevation. So there's some wiggle room that could possibly be there, but we would require anything that comes through to substantially conform with what was approved here this evening. So little to no change.
My only concern on generally that area, specifically for wildlife, birds, I've seen and witnessed plenty of low-flying aircraft in the area, either on their approach to banning or randomly flying from north to south, well below 1,000 feet, maybe 750. I could read the writing on the underneath the wing. And there's some guidelines that Riverside County Airport Land Use Commission recently published that would that help guide some of the trees and shrubberies going into not nest so many birds and animals. Just last week, I counted about 7 hawks in the area, flying easily about 500 to 700 feet, and those guidelines are to help mitigate bird strikes and any more trees coming in there. There's just some guidelines that, just to be good neighbors, and in general, what I've witnessed.
Okay. Note taken. Yeah.
Waterfowl.
Yeah.
Frank Valley.
Okay, no other comments, questions? So I open the public hearing. Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing on plot plan 2019-0174 for existing buildings on 185 West 4th Street. Open that hearing at 6:40.
I do have a request to speak. David Castaldo?
Yeah, I just happened to be looking at the agenda, and all of a sudden, there's a bunch of things being built around my place, and it's kind of refreshing. I built that, our shop was there about 20 years ago, and really nothing has been opened up or being built, and now we got another storage facility coming in, and this gentleman's adding on to it. I look forward to it. It's kind of lonely down there. All we do is get to see the traffic. I was really hoping to see on the agenda someday that we could put a toll booth there and start catching the people coming up from Emmett. Probably would really help the city out.
You need to get back on the council, David, to make that happen.
Yeah, I know, but I'm happy being private, really, trust me. In any case, I'm in favor of this project. It'll add some aesthetic value to our neighborhood. Your concerns, Commissioner Smith, about the metal buildings. Most of the buildings in that area are metal. I do plan on developing a couple acres that I have in the next couple of years. Unfortunately, Dr. Kirk got a little ahead of me, but that's okay. He's got more money. But I really, when you get to that point, I'd like to make sure I'm notified. But metal buildings can actually be enhanced to look a lot better, and the construction is much cheaper. And I'm bordered by the old Hershey building, which is in pathetic condition, but it's there. So trying to put a Cadillac in a parking lot with a bunch of Chevys, I understand, but, in any case, I really hope you consider this and allow them to go ahead and put it up. It will be an addition to our neighborhood. Once again, I am speaking because I own AC Propane, which is within about a couple hundred feet of this.
That's 2 advertisings that you've done already.
Once again, the applicant did promise me a good deal on one of the rental units, so I just want to make sure I'm there.
David, I might be the chairman, but this man sitting over here doesn't miss anything. So.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, is there any other persons to speak on this?
I don't have any requests.
Is the applicant here? Why don't you stand up and give us your name and address, please, sir?
My name's Vincent Franklin. It's 185 West 4th Street is the business, so I live in Ukaipa.
Okay. Questions, Mr. St. Martin?
What are you going to be doing in those buildings?
All the equipment we have stored outside will be inside.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically going to clean it all up, and it's for our business. It's easier for us to bill for the stuff when it's in a secure location like that. We already have insurance waivers on it. And then we had the idea to add some area for other businesses, like the door guy would be a perfect tenant for me on the other portion. There's a lack of that in this area, so I've been looking for a long time, and so when I was able to get the purchase a building, the property, we decided to do that. So
I hope it looks as good as the
it
pictures.
is my intention to make it look exactly like that. That's what I'm excited about, because it's something we can be proud of. And I understand about the metal buildings, but I think you won't be disappointed.
That's good. And I know, you know, it's a transition. It takes
Totally understand, yeah.
years to get to a point where the market in the city.
We looked at every option and understanding that's the way most cities are all going.
Yeah.
Just the metal building is so much more cost effective.
Especially for what you're going to use it for. It's-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I like it because it's more secure, because the area has some issues, but, you know, I think this would be a lot better. I just, when people take stuff, I just like them to bring it back. They seem like they borrow it, but they don't bring it back.
Commissioner Barr?
What's your expected use for the phase 2? What kind of tenants are you going to be looking for?
Small construction business, something like the door gentleman, or, I'm really not looking for like any mechanics or anything like that. I'm thinking more of like a little electrician or like an HVAC guy like myself.
Plumbing.
Or plumbing, anything like that, where you just need a door, you basically have a door, a desk, a bathroom, and a warehouse, a little small warehouse.
So no real increase in traffic?
It shouldn't be any more than there is now.
Okay.
No questions. Thank you.
Stevens?
Thank you. Are you planning on having some sort of security system installed in place?
I've had enhanced security now, yes. We just had a couple incidents where things were broken into, and so we have we have two separate security. I have security in the building, and then outside also there's monitored security now also.
You'll be able to see that from Ukaipa?
Yes, I can see it from right here.
Very good.
Unfortunately, we had a couple false alarms, so at 2 in the morning I get the call too. So, but it's nice. So.
Any other questions from commissioners?
None.
I have just the one question. I noticed as I drive around there, I guess I'm assuming, and that's probably what I shouldn't do, is I noticed that you have all kinds of product out there in your storage lot.
Yes.
And that's going to go undercover inside these?
Yeah, those are air conditioning units for future projects.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, then all those are gonna go inside, and that way it protects them, and it allows us to get paid for them in advance.
It's going to clean it up because it's
Yes.
ugly down there now, so shouldn't say that. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:45. And I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve as presented.
Okay, I have a motion to approve as presented. I need a second.
I'll second.
I have a second.
Commissioner Stevens?
Yes.
Commissioner Barr?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Vice Chair St. Martin?
Yes.
Chairman Tinker?
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 6. We're going to conduct a public hearing and consider plot plan 2018-0165 for the proposed demolition of an existing residence and construction of an 18,716 square foot, 2-story medical office building with a covered pickup and drop-off area and related improvements on 1.3 acres located at 1542 East 6th Street.
Thank you. The application before you tonight is consideration of construction of an 18,716 square foot, 2-story medical office building at 1542 East 6th Street in the general commercial zone. This proposed project is a permitted use in the zone, subject to approval of a plot plan application by the Planning Commission. The subject site consists of 3 parcels with an existing single-family residence and an access road. It's surrounded on the north by single and multifamily residential uses and multifamily zone property. To the south is Applebee's and the America's Tire site. To the west is Bank of Hemet, and to the east is commercially zoned property and Fire Station 20. The project was presented at the city's Development Review Committee on November 15th, 2018, where the departments reviewed, discussed, and provided conditions for the proposed project. The site, as conditioned, will include full site improvements, paving, and landscaping. The project takes access from 6th Street, where a new driveway is proposed. The parking ratio of 1 space per 250 square feet of floor area yields a requirement of 75 spaces. The site will provide 79. Landscaping is proposed in the front, around the perimeter of the property, and the parking area. All landscaping will be required to meet the city's landscaping ordinance. The proposed building is a total of 18,716 square feet, with 10,029 square feet on the ground floor and 8,687 square feet on the second floor. There will be a covered pickup and drop-off area provided at the front of the building, which faces to the east. The interior of the building will have medical office suites, common areas, stairs, and elevators as required. The building will also be sprinklered. The exterior of the building will have a mix of materials including concrete, stone veneer, and decorative metal accents. The proposed building and site improvements will be compatible with the surrounding area. The proposed application qualifies for exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act, Section 15332 infill development projects. The findings required for approval of a plot plan are included in the staff report, and all of these findings can be made in a positive manner. Staff recommends holding a public hearing and approving plot plan PP 2018-0165 for the proposed demolition of a residence and construction of an 18,716 square foot, 2-story medical office building with covered pickup and drop-off area and related improvements on 1.3 acres located at 1542 East 6th Street in the commercial general zone, subject to the subject to the findings and the attached conditions of approval. Staff is available if you have any questions. The applicant is present in the audience. And if you'd like, we can put the site plan and floor plan up on the screen.
Commissioner St. Martin?
I have no questions of staff.
Commissioner Bohr?
No questions.
Yes. So a couple things that jump out at me is that, it's a very long, narrow parcel. So it's kind of an awkward shape to try to fit a building in. And it's not intended as a left turn access from 6th Street into the property?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, actually, they might have full motion at that point. I don't know if there's a median.
I believe there is.
Okay.
Is there, because my concern is that, there's the opening of the fire station, and that we're gonna have people that are gonna try to make U-turns in that area without a left turn lane, and, otherwise you gotta go all the way up to Highland Springs in order to access the property.
Sure.
One of the things I was looking at the site plan that I think might be beneficial is it looks like there's a retaining wall that runs from the front of the property to back behind the building. If there's any consideration for when the adjacent property develops, if there could be shared parking agreements or access that might be able to be utilized there, that at some point in the future would be able to remove that, or potentially remove that U-turn movements that happen there on 6th Street.
Sure. That's something we can discuss with the applicant as we move forward through this process. Or if you like to make it a condition of approval, we can include that, or we can.
Well, I mean, the applicant on his own can't, the applicant
Right.
can say, yeah, I would agree to.
Without
to
the other
that.
party
Without the other
involved,
party,
right,
you can't have
understood,
an agreement.
understood. Maybe discussion
it
we
would-
have in the future.
Exactly, exactly. Just to be able to avoid that, so that it's a weird parcel.
It is.
So you're locked in with what you can do with the site,
Yeah.
so, how it's laid out.
And it's three of them together, so if you look at the parcel map, it's very interesting how,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. Okay. All right, that was my question.
Commissioner Stevens? No questions.
Okay, I have the one concern, and I agree with, when I looked at it, there's no left-hand turn pocket right there. You have to go down in front of the fire station and make the turn and come back. I think we need to, in order to avoid the confusion there in front of the fire station, which is in front of Applebee's, I think we need to look at a left-hand turn pocket somehow or another in front of this facility.
I'm not sure how it works with still be able to maintain access to the Applebee's parcel.
Well, I don't know, and I'm not an engineer and you are, but the bottom line is when I looked at it today, I had to drive down in front of the fire station to come back.
Yep.
And I think we just need to look at something in there that,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if you look at the surrounding area, Bank of Hemmock connects to the parking lot at the
Do It Best.
Do It Center. So as the property behind Bank of Hemmock develops, that would be kind of the intent there, is that if you have shared parking and you're able to maneuver through the parking lot and around, then you wouldn't have that. Now, I mean, it's kind of, you know, if the applicant agrees that, yeah, we would be open for that when that property develops, then, you know, we can work towards solving that in the future when this next parcel goes. But it's not something that I think is going to be able to be solved today. We can't condition them to improve across someone else's property. I don't know, is there a way, you know, here's a question maybe for Public Works, to potentially stripe on 6th Street, you know, somehow to cross-hatch it to indicate more that it's a fire zone, keep clear, you know, that kind of a thing right there in front of the fire station, to maybe discourage that turn movement.
I guess that's something we'd have to discuss with traffic and with fire,
Yeah.
both, to see if that's something that they would want. It's a little, and you guys know, I mean, because the way the medians run on 6th, it's hit and miss on which parcels have, you know,
Yeah.
right in, right out access only versus which ones get full
Right.
movement,
well,
so.
because right now, the only one you have in and out is right in front of Do It Best.
Turn pocket for Applebee's, right?
Bank of Hemmock.
Bank of Hemmock, you know, I'm just suggesting it. But I don't want to stripe off in front of the fire station because there's too many people coming out of the Stater Brothers parking lot to come across that left-hand turn.
Well, but, I mean, you'd leave it because it's the permitted left hand into the Stater Brothers. So you'd have to leave, you know, a certain part of it, you know, you just wouldn't allow a left turn from 6th Street into the fire station unless you had an emergency vehicle going into the fire station.
You know, you have to keep that because the public goes in there too much. There's a lot of public access into that fire station. All right, any other comments? So I'm going to open the public, do we have any speakers on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing on PP 2018-0165 at 6:50.
David Castaldo?
You've talked more tonight than you do in most council meetings.
Yeah, I know. How about that? I just couldn't help myself after I've known Dr. Ball for about 20, 25 years. And the fact that I was here, and then actually I'm waiting for Christina to get done with this so I can talk to her. So had nothing else to do but waste time. First off, Commissioner Smith, you bring up some good ideas about the turn pockets and the right-hand turning. However, I believe Commissioner St. Martin was on the commission when I was there when we approved AutoZone. And we made a right turn only out of AutoZone. And every time I go there since then, I'm trying to figure out why we did that. Why I can't turn left. But I do want you guys to consider on the traffic thing is that once the Pardee gets their area built over there in Banning, and the city of Banning finally pulls their, well, gets straightened out with whatever they're going to do with Highland Springs, much of the traffic that's going down 6th Street is basically pass-through traffic that's trying to avoid that intersection. So if they're able to get on the freeway a lot easier, traffic's going to get a little bit more reduced on 6th Street, which you may want to work, as you had already discussed, have a traffic engineer take a look at it. So on a little bit more of a humorous note, on item 31 of the conditions, it states whether or not there's 12 or 24 inches of the lettering for the address. And being that Dr. Ball is a optometrist, many of his patients have bad eyesight.
Cut him off.
So maybe Dr. Ball can bring different sizes of numerals, and then you can decide which ones are better or worse. Thank you.
Good night, David.
Good night.
Any other questions for the applicant?
No.
For the applicant? I have a couple questions for the applicant.
Is the applicant present?
Yes.
And please. State your name and address, please, sir.
Blair Ball, 16590 6th Street is the office, 1542 East 6th Street is the proposed building. Congratulations first on your commissioner appointments and reappointments. I think it's wonderful that you men and women step forward to serve the community. Thank you for doing so.
Thank you.
So first, I want to start with kind of a compliment. I think that the building that you have going into, the architecture that you propose with it, I think it sets a real positive standard, especially as we are looking to really kind of develop 6th Street and turn it into kind of a mixed use model. I think that it's going to help to guide future applicants of what can be done and what the expectation should be moving forward. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time with that. I spoke a little bit about, because of the access, there's not a lot of problems that can solve today. But, should agreements be made with the property owner in the future toward the back of the parking lot, would you be agreeable to share access rights across properties to?
Certainly. I think that'd be beneficial to both parties.
Okay. And then the medical suites that are in there, are they going to be independent doctors that are renting out suites, or is it a practice?
Correct. We plan on taking about 3,000 feet. We have some interest already on the 5,000 feet. We look forward to more of a professional, like we talked about, orthodontics, dentistry, chiropractic, physical therapy, so forth. We will try to shy away from urgent care or things of that nature. I just don't think it lends itself well to that type of a flow of people. And so most of these practitioners will probably serve anywhere from maybe 10 to 15 patients a day. And so, it's typically a Monday through Friday, unless you're dentistry. They've never been known to work on Fridays, to my knowledge. But so anyway, that's kind of the flow.
Thank you.
Commissioner Sable.
No questions.
Commissioner Barr.
Congratulations, too. I thought like that.
Thank you.
Do you expect to have any laboratory services or radiology on site?
At the present time, no. In fact, highly unlikely it will be lab specimens and things of that nature, to my knowledge.
You've had your chance, Commissioner Sable.
My question might be for Commissioner or staff. The plot behind Bank of Hemet, is that a separate?
We have to look and see how the parcel.
It's owned by Do It Best, the ones directly behind Bank of Hemet.
Right, yeah, it's not part of this.
Okay, so behind Bank of Hemet, you needed that dirt there. Okay,
Yes.
so what you brought up on shared driveway, and I thought, well, is that going to be landlocked? But
right.
And that parcel actually goes all the way over, I believe, to the side street, so it takes up a good.
Do It Best actually owns Bank of Hemet too. They own
Okay.
that whole front to back.
I think, if you go in there, there might be some more interest on, developing that last little out parcel for them too, so.
Well, the architect and I have talked about that and kind of structured it so that would hopefully lend itself to that. We have not approached the owners of Do It Best, though.
Well, good luck. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, Commissioners?
None.
Okay, I'll close the public hearing at 7 p.m. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve plot plan 2018-1065.
I'll move to approve as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion to approve as presented. I have a second.
Commissioner Stevens?
yes.
Commissioner Barr?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Vice Chair St. Martin?
Yes.
Chairman Tinker?
Yes. Okay, before we adjourn, I have two comments. One, you text all of us about a meeting on the 26th. Is that
So up next on the agenda is the Community Development Director comments.
Okay,
So
well,
Christina will mention that right now.
Okay, Christina, it's all yours. I screwed that up, so now it's all yours.
Quite all right. Thank you. Glad to have you guys back. Welcome aboard, Commissioner Stevens. As Chairman Tinker mentioned, we have a special meeting that has been requested on February 26th. So I look forward to you all attending. There will be one item, and it will be related to a zoning code amendment. So that should be the extent of the meeting, unless anything comes up in the meantime, but I highly doubt it. So the other thing I wanted to mention was the Planning Commissioners Academy. I know a few of you are going and a couple of you cannot attend, so I will see you guys down there at that as well. But now that we're having the special meeting, I'll see you before then here. So
I got to tell you, I wanted to go so bad. And Nicole will tell you, for several years, I've been trying to push to get some money, and I want to be out of town.
yeah, they do it every year, so maybe if next year's dates work for those of you that can attend, that would be great. In the meantime, I know our city attorney has offered also to do a training here, or a 101 type, similar to some of the stuff we might get down there, and I think we're looking at that for maybe a few months from now anyway, closer towards the summer.
Oh, outstanding. That would be great.
That's it for me.
Anything else? Anything from the commissioners?
Nope.
Okay, then I'm going to close the
I
meeting.
have one.
Oh, excuse me.
I just want to say I'm looking forward to serving the community and getting to know you guys better.
Good. I think you're going to find that this seat is vacant a lot. Because this man has his fingers in more pies than you can shake a stick at. Okay, I'm going to close the planning commission meeting at 7:03.